Now, from the Global News Center, the Morning News with Crystal Garrett, Paul Brothers, and Jill Chappell.
And our two favorite words of the week have arrived. Happy Friday.
Yay!
It is the morning news at Global Halifax. We're up to Friday, April 4th, 2014. For all you numerologists out there, 4414.
Ooh.
I don't know if that makes any kind of sense.
There's lots of fours in it.
Yeah, 4414.
If you're a fan of 4, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the number of the day is going to be 37, as in Bill 37.
Bill 37, which it could be passed within the next half hour.
Being debated right now as we speak in the legislature.
Being debated. We thought we were going to have that answer very, very shortly, but it appears another speaker will be speaking, and it might be a little later than we thought, but we're following that this morning very closely, as we are the weather.
Yeah, so in the meantime, while we wait for more details on that, I'll get you up to date on the weather and what you can expect heading into the weekend. So today we are going to see some flurries and fog patches this morning across the Maritimes, a mix of sun and cloud this afternoon. We will see clearing gradually throughout the morning. There is a slight chance we could see some afternoon showers throughout Nova Scotia, and then periods of rain on the way for tomorrow for much of the region. So let's take a look at our radar and satellite image. We are starting to see some clearing in northwestern parts of New Brunswick, a clear morning in Edmundston, and we're starting to see a little bit of flurry activity dissipating throughout central parts of Nova Scotia. Still some flurries at this hour in the Halifax area. We are hovering around the freezing mark this morning, so there is a risk of some freezing drizzle throughout central parts of Nova Scotia. I know Greenwood was reporting some a little bit earlier this morning. So our temperatures ranging from -11 in Edmundston up to 0 degrees, our warm spot in Halifax and Greenwood. We'll have more details on the weather coming up after the news with Crystal and Paul.
Thanks for that, Jill. Yes, it does feel a little bit milder this morning in the weather. Let's take a look now at news to 6:02 on this Friday morning, and there is a lot riding on today. A bill which would impact tens of thousands of Nova Scotia health workers is being debated at Province House right now.
Just after midnight, Labour Minister Kelly Regan moved the bill into the third reading. Now, the opposition then took one last chance to block Bill 37. Here's what happened. The tiny but mighty NDP caucus kept on fighting the bill into the early hours. Now, all 7 members speaking for up to an hour at a time against the bill. The leader of the Conservative opposition, Jamie Bailey, also spoke out against the bill, saying the PCs would vote against it.
Meanwhile, hundreds of nurses spent the night picketing outside the legislature, sometimes drowning out the voices inside. Global's Ben McDonald joins us from the legislature. So with so much opposition to the bill, what's going on this morning right now where you are, Ben?
Good morning, Paul and Crystal. Yeah, absolutely a ridiculous scene down here, and it's been this way since 11:30 last night. Many of the nurses have moved inside, but as you know, this is really, it's a numbers game that it comes down to, and the Liberals with a majority government, they have 33 MLAs inside there. So while the NDP has really done everything they can to delay this process and make it as difficult as they can for the Liberals, this really wasn't going to play out any other way. Now, behind me here we have still just a few protesters. Many have gone inside to see this bill get passed. We're expecting at this point, the way things are moving, we're on the last speaker of the NDP right now, that the bill could be passed by about 7:15, so we'll keep you up to date with that. Right now outside here, they have 4 megaphones stuck inside the fence at Province House, turned on. It has been incredibly loud. They're mocking Stephen McNeil like he's the opposing goalie at a Mooseheads game, and it's been going on all night. So we're seeing still the same amount of energy that we saw yesterday continuing on today.
What a scene on a Friday morning, that's for sure.
Very, very loud. Yeah, Ben's got a special microphone so we can hear you.
Indeed.
And Ben will be down there all
Yeah,
morning
I'll keep it close.
to see when Bill 37 actually gets passed, that's for sure. Thanks. That's Global's Ben McDonald at the Nova Scotia Legislature on this Friday morning. Now, we will be watching the debate and the vote closely and bring it to you live when it happens. In the meantime, the Nova Scotia government juggling a lot this week, that's for sure. Yesterday, between debates on the services bill, the Liberal government presented its first budget. And here's where the province stands financially. Over the coming year, Nova Scotia will run up a $279 million deficit. That will leave Nova Scotia with a $14.6 billion net debt. On the revenue side, the province is bringing in about $9.6 billion. Total spending comes in at just shy of $50 billion.
Nova Scotia's finance minister was apologetic about the budget, but Diana Whalen said the deficit couldn't be avoided with healthcare and labour costs and high demand for social services. That all comes as a dwindling tax base supports an ageing population.
The status quo isn't working. It's clear to me, as it is to all of you, that we can't continue on in the same way.
Now, it's no secret the outlook for Nova Scotia's economy has been grim this year, with government reports warning of economic decay. Now, February's Ivany report made several proposals to turn things around, including supporting business, increasing immigration, and keeping young people here in Nova Scotia. For businesses, the budget offers $200,000 for apple farmers, $250,000 for the lobster industry, and $500,000 for mink farmers. For immigration, there's $1.3 million to help settle newcomers in areas of need, and post-secondary students are getting money for a handful of programs broken into $1 or $2 million chunks.
One of the government's strategic moves is to eliminate the graduate retention rebate, a move that's expected to save about $50 million a year. The rebate, worth $2,500 to university students and $1,500 to college students, was meant as an incentive to keep graduates in the province. Now the government will put $7 million aside for employers to hire recent grads instead. It's a move that doesn't impress student leaders.
They're taking away a $43 million program, and they're going to invest around $12 million this year. That just is not what we are looking for, and we're very, very disappointed.
Recent grads are sharing their thoughts online. Brittany Lapointe sent us this tweet saying, "They should have kept the student loan interest. I saved more using the graduate retention rebate for one year than I would ever have to pay in interest." And David Mitchell from Bridgewater writes, "How does cutting the retention make any sense when we are losing people to the West every day?"
Well, turning now to city politics. Halifax City Councillor Reg Rankin is taking a leave of absence in a meeting on Tuesday. Council approved a paid leave of up to 2 months. Rankin is facing an impaired driving charge after a vehicle hit his house on March 26th. Rankin represents Timberley, Beachville, Clayton Park West. He did take a leave from council in 2011 as well, reportedly to deal with an alleged alcohol addiction.
Hundreds of Marine Atlantic passengers are on firm ground after 24 hours in a frozen limbo. Early Thursday morning, their ferry got stuck in ice a few kilometers from their destination in North Sydney. Coast Guard icebreaker ships were called in to help the ferry reach the dock. The Blue Patties finally reached shore yesterday afternoon, much to the relief of the 350 passengers aboard. Marine Atlantic says ferry crossing to Port aux Basques will be impacted by ice for the next day and a half.